We will start in 3, 2, 1. Wait, did you say this is, you said episode 5 of Arclight Rumblings.
No, episode 4. And I said we'll see you guys in episode 5 at the end.
Okay. All right, cool. 3, 2, 1. All right, welcome to Arclight Rumblings, episode 4, part 2. I'm Blue Max with Blue Max Rumbler. I hate that. We're going to start that over again. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Hello, and welcome to episode 4, part 2 of Arclight Rumblings. I'm Blue Max, and with me is, of course, Minnie Manlow, a.k.a. the Arclight Battery. How's it going?
Good, Max. How are you?
Doing all right. Got some Super Bowl plans for this evening. Not a huge fan of the Super Bowl, but I don't mind doing a little socializing, so it'll be perfectly fine.
Awesome.
We're going to discuss what we're doing to prepare for just pushing further in PvP in terms of leveling up, as well as what we're doing to prepare for raids. After that, we'll discuss kind of the state of PvP as we're well into the bounty enchant, and we'll discuss some of the successes, or in my case, failures that we've had, and see what we can learn from that. It's all good. It's all good. So, as I've mentioned in previous reference, I've made reference previously. I keep a spreadsheet where I'm kind of nerding out, and I'm running as many quests as I can stand, as well as buying as many mythic tomes as are available, trying to get more and more levels on the minis I like, and just in preparation for raiding. So, what about you? Do you have anything in particular you're doing, Minnie?
To get prepared for raids?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. I am trying to get multiple leaders up. I think having lots of options for each raid wing is going to be super important. I think there will be a lot of good combinations of different leaders you can play since you're going to be doing it co-op. And just having those leaders available, I think will be really valuable. So that's mainly what I'm focusing on. I'm also focusing on some specific units, such as like footmen. I think footmen are going to be pretty solid. Maybe not on all the maps, but hopefully on one or two. I feel like footmen are kind of all-stars with Tyrion in PvE, or at least they have been through the normal campaign. And while we're going into Molten Core, so I kind of assume that all the damage is going to be elemental, there will probably be some bosses that deal physical damage, and footmen will just be an all-star there. So,
yeah.
Are there any specific minis you're leveling up, Max?
I'm leveling up a lot. Let's see. All of my alliance leaders are within about 10 or 12,000 XP from being PvP level 10.
Nice.
Footmen are probably about 25,000 away from that as well. I think Fire Elemental is going to be really important to get as high as possible. So kind of pushing in that direction. And I'm also focusing on Cheat Death, as well as Holy Nova, Arcane Blast, and Blizzard. So, reminder, we will be doing a much more in-depth deep dive on what we know about raids, as we get closer to that time period, to the time when raids are actually out. And so when that happens, we'll go over what we know about the individual wings. But for example, we know that there's going to be a wing that's going to involve a boss that is going to convert a single unit from a squad. And remember, the example was you wouldn't want to use chickens because the chicken's going to get killed. The possessed chicken's going to get killed immediately. And then whatever backline you're doing to the boss is going to then be attacked. And so, in fact, the specific reference was footmen would be a really good choice. And so,
you know what I think is going to be a better choice for that?
I look forward to hear. What's that?
Quillbore. But I'm assuming the range of the guy that mind controls things is
Uh-huh.
going to be not just in front of him, but also behind him. So you'll probably put a 2 gold Quillbore as far back behind him as you can to have him
Mm-hmm.
be MC'd, and then while your Quillbore is slowly walking back to you to
Ooh.
your push, I think you'll be able to kill that mind control guy pretty quickly.
Well, okay.
So
Well, we will
have to wait and
definitely,
see.
yeah, we will definitely see. So bear in mind also we know that there will be a boss that specifically you don't want to use spells against. But I think so. But I want to be prepared for the other bosses. So just make sure that I'm as well rounded as I possibly can be. Because like you said, we just don't know.
Yeah. Yeah,
We
I think
just don't
being
know.
well rounded is definitely a good play. Like you said, and like I said, we just don't know what's happening. So
Mm-hmm.
having everything ready, and like there are obviously some all stars like Meat Wagon. I feel like maybe they won't let it outrange bosses like they did for Onyxia, but
Yeah.
maybe they will. They'll
Yeah.
probably have some pretty good uses. Banshee might be an all star, mind controlling expensive things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just have to wait and see. I'm sure there are some minis that don't see as much play that may see some play um, with how it's going to work being co-op um, and having different leader combinations like that. Like Dracasath and Tyrion, man, that would be kind of cool, huh?
That that could be pretty cool, and it could be a deal where, for example, Mitty, if you and I partner, we may be able to, we may lock Drac and Tyrion into a specific wing, and then we could flip it, and I could play Drac and you could play Tyrion on
Yep.
another map. So I
Yeah.
think I think the possibilities of what to do are going to be pretty varied and a lot of fun to see. Um,
Agreed.
yeah, yeah. So like I've said before, I am willing to do quests. I'm not saying they're fun, but I will definitely do them. And the key is build a deck around questing in such a way that you're able to target exactly what minis get selected as candidates for XP and quests, and it'll make it feel a lot more useful and meaningful. And of course, the way I feel about it, once you get a mini to that XP level 19, where the next level up is 200,000 XP, I almost have no motivation whatsoever to dump additional XP into that mini,
Yeah.
because you're just not going to get much of a return out of that. It's going to be a
Yeah.
long
I
time.
I agree. That 200, like 100K was really long. I mean,
Yeah.
50K was long. 100K is super long too. 200K is like, yeah. Like whenever I have an option to put XP into them from opening a tome, I'm just like, nope, I'm good. We'll put it on to something else.
Well, I guess we're gonna throw XP at Molten Giant after all. That's kind of how I feel about it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure that maybe down the road I might regret that just from like not being able to have a max level mini
That's
in
true.
a platinum slot to have level
Mm-hmm.
11 in PvP, but
Mm-hmm.
if that's how that works, not sure about that yet, but still fingers crossed that it's not how that works.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we will see. Now that's actually a really good that's a really good counterpoint. It will really hurt if you do have some people that do throw a lot of XP into that final level, and then the platinum slot does allow for a level 11 PvP unit. You might be really really behind, and so that also means that decisions that we made early in the game in terms of what to use our very very rare legendary cores on may seriously come into play, either to assist or haunt you, because those legendary cores are just so rare.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they
we'll see.
require so much Arclight energy to use to begin with.
Yes, yes, and if only there was a recurring way to get Arclight energy other than converting gold to
Yeah.
that currency. Yeah.
Yeah.
In time. Okay. Sounds good. Sounds like we're both thinking ahead. We're both thinking long term at how we're going to get as many minis prepared. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So tell me about your feeling about PvP. I was looking on our Discord and I saw where earlier today you hit 19K. You've had like a 1,500 jump just in the past 24 hours.
Yeah, I went on an absolute tear with Arthy's Emperor Thorsan deck. I posted a video about that a
Yes.
couple days back. At the time of this uploading, it's
Uh-huh.
really really good. I took Emperor from 4,500 to 6,100
Wow.
in like 10 or 12 games without losing anything. Um,
Wow.
and I basically just I was sitting down and watching TV and told myself I'm just gonna play this a little bit, and if I win streak, then I'm just gonna play until I lose. And so just kept playing and lost the game eventually and ended up at 61, 64. So that got me pretty high. That cracked into my top 3 leaders by a good number of points, and then ended up playing Baron this morning, or the morning after we did Emperor Thorsan, and pushed him all the way up to 6,800. Did the same thing. I said I'm gonna play this guy. I'm just gonna win streak, and I'm gonna play the win streak until I lose one, and got him up to 68-32.
Nice.
And then actually didn't lose yet. I just decided to stop playing him because the points I gained, even having a win streak, was like 19.
Yeah, I can totally see where you wouldn't want to risk Baron for a meager 19 point gain. At least not yet. But it does sound like you're fairly well on track to being able to jump to the 20K. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, super excited about it.
Yeah.
Especially because I have Maiev, which I think is one of the better heroes right now. She's outside of my top 3.
Okay.
So we will probably play her when I get the chance to again, and just kind of try and push her back into the top 3. But like I said, I just play things until I lose with them. So like if they're outside of the top 3, and so Maiev is my 4th, I'll play her, and even once she pushes inside of my top 3, if I'm win streaking, I'll just keep playing until I lose. I think that's probably the best way to gain honor at the moment.
Yeah, no, that seems reasonable. I didn't get to play a lot of PvP over the past day, but I had a small win streak for myself and reached 16K from 15. I was pretty much stuck at 15 for a good while, so I hit 16K and got Tharasan up to about 5,600, and was able to kind of polish off with General Drac. So I've made a small modification to how I've played the Emperor in the past, and that is I ditched potion drop in favor of just going with the long range for Griffin. That allows Griffin to play a much more dynamic role. You obviously lose the +1 advantage for your target unit, but it just gave a lot more flexibility, and I felt like I was just consistently winning matches a lot better. And so I'll gladly take that. I was going to ask, so I'm guessing if this is an Arthy build, so I haven't had time to watch your video yet, but if it's an Arthy build, I'm guessing it probably has Harvest Golem and maybe Ghoul as well.
It's so I was running Ghoul a little bit.
Okay.
When I made the video, I was running Ghoul, but my Ghoul is level 8.
Okay.
Even with a gold slot, so he's real low.
Yeah.
So I ended up swapping him out with Quillbore, and that really helped me against Baron because Bristleback reflects skeletal mage attacks for whatever reason. It tanks Baron really well. It's good at contesting treasure chests and denying enemy kobolds. It's also really good at like turning Rind around and taking Dracasath if you need to. If he's still just been an all-star. I do think Ghoul is probably just better in this type of deck. If your Ghoul is high enough level, but mine's not, so we ran Quillbore instead.
Fair. And it sounds like it worked out. Okay. Well, cool.
Yeah,
I'm definitely going to have to take a look at that. Ghoul is on my list to get up to 10. Mine, I think I have about 60,000 XP to get Ghoul to that level. So
nice.
Still a ways to go.
So, yeah, mine is still in that 50K track, I think.
Okay.
He is. I don't even think he's halfway through it, to be honest, and he's only rare, so
yeah,
he's very far behind.
So I'm in a similar boat with skeletons. I did get over the 50K track, but I'm still about 4 stars away from going from rare to epic, and I just have a real hard time chucking gold or coins, I should say, into the grid right now. So I'm just going to be patient, and we'll see how long it takes. But I think getting skeletons to level 10 is going to be pretty key. And definitely, once I get Mayav herself to 10, I will be more than excited to push with her. So tell me what your experiences have been with the bounty enchant so far.
So it's been honestly kind of unnoticeable. Like, you get a gold here and there, but it's not really something you can plan for specifically. I don't think, unless you're like just you have a giga brain and you're just keeping track of treasure chest timers and gold timers and how many mobs you're killing, but also keeping track of which mobs don't count towards it.
Yes.
So there's a lot that goes into tracking it right now. I think it'll get easier once everything counts towards it, because right now it seems like spawned units don't count. So like skeletons from Rivendare, Murlocs from Murkai, chickens from Harvest Golem, resurrected corehounds don't count, things like that. So it's kind of weird what counts and what doesn't. Like whelp eggs count, but the whelps themselves do not.
Interesting.
So I believe that to be a bug. I don't know that. But hopefully it changes to where everything counts soon, because it's kind of weird not having it really be that impactful. It is supposed to change how things work. Which is why people aren't playing skeletons right now because of Bounty Hunt. Because it's 2 gold and basically you're giving them 1 gold by playing them. But it's been fun. Like PvP is still just fun. I don't think the modifier is doing a ton right now, though.
Oh, and speaking of which, I do want to correct myself. Bounty is a modifier, just like you said, Minnie, and not an enchant. We're still on the collateral damage enchant. Yeah. Sometimes I do not use the correct terminology, obviously.
That is okay. Enchantments are kind of the same thing as modifiers.
Right. So. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel like they're kind of synonyms, for sure. Yeah, okay, so that's fair. That's been my experience as well. I haven't noticed it having near the impact that I anticipated it would, but I agree with you. Playing skeletons is probably one where, yes, you'll feel it. And so just beware. Better really make it worth your while to play them. Yeah. Now let's see. I'm trying to think if there's been anything else that I've particularly enjoyed playing. Honestly, it's kind of it kind of just feels like the past few weeks. Collateral damage definitely speeds up the matches, and it definitely puts you in a position to where you want to think very carefully about whether you want to take that tower or not, because I don't know about your experiences, Minnie, but the tower capture and then recapture is a very common thing to happen. You don't often capture a tower and get to hold it. And so if you're already behind and you're near to losing, it is not to your advantage to take a tower.
Oh yeah, there are a couple games where I have done that. I've done the tower trade back and forth, and then they eventually reclaim their tower. And I'm like, okay, I can no longer push for that tower, because if I can't claim it and then also defend it, I lose. So there have been a lot of games where I make that decision to stop pushing their side tower and just play to control treasure chests and the gold veins, and then make a big push on their base. And I mean, sometimes that's what you gotta do.
Yeah. Well, that has actually made it an interesting enchant. It has forced you to think a little bit more critically on the fly, and
Mhm.
I've enjoyed that. That's been
Yeah.
perfectly okay. Yeah. Um, okay. Anything else you want to cover as far as PvP? Oh no. Oh, actually, I can think of one other thing, and that is I've been pleasantly surprised and pleased at just how many people are cracking the 16K mark or even the 20K mark. It does seem like the rewards are becoming much more obtainable.
Yes.
And I think that's going to just encourage more and more people to play.
I agree. I think it's fantastic, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of my biggest complaints is that it seemed like the reward track was way far out of reach
Yep.
for everybody. Like even the top players were not getting to the top of
Yep.
the reward track, which seems silly. Right now we have 42 players at 20K, and then one, two,
Yeah.
three, four, five more in that 19K bracket that are
Mm-hmm.
getting pretty close. And
Mm-hmm.
we've got a lot of people that are above that 16K mark, like you said. Let me
Yeah.
see. We have 127 players that have received their emotes this season, and it looks like there are quite a few players kind of knocking on that door as well. Lots of people in that Mithril Calcutron range, the 15K and up.
Yep. That's good.
Um, yeah, very excited about it. Now,
Yeah.
my only. So, I do have a concern, though, and it
Okay.
shouldn't be a concern once we get more players playing.
Okay.
That's the issue, though, is getting those players playing. But right now, win streaks are pushing people really high, which is awesome. But it's also pushing lower level players into the above 3K bracket per leader, right? So they're hitting that no level cap, which
Mm-hmm.
can be bad if they don't have very high level minis. Um, Something that has happened even inside of our guild is Arthi today. He is 22,128. He's currently rank 4.
Crazy.
Um, yeah, insane. But he played, I think, like a Dark Iron 2 or 3. Anyway, he played Funky Monkey, which is a member of our guild that does
Mm-hmm.
not spend a lot on the game, hardly anything actually.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a bunch of level 8 units.
Mm-hmm.
While, yeah, here he is, Dark Iron 3, Funky Monkey. Somehow they queued into each other more than 8,000 honor apart from each other. That should never happen. Um,
Wow.
and so hopefully when more players are playing the game, that won't happen. But
Yep.
currently it is, and it's not very fun.
No, no, I
So
imagine it's not fun at all.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my only concern with it. That'll fix itself once we have more players though.
It certainly should. It certainly should. Yep.
hmm But
Yeah.
really that's the only other thing I had to add to it. I've really been enjoying PvP this season. It's keeping me engaged in the game. When I
Mm-hmm.
have a few spare minutes, I'll turn the game on and play a match of PvP. It's been a ton of fun for me. I do wish they would have more constant updates of things to do. Like
Mm-hmm.
I said in the last part of this podcast,
Mm-hmm.
um, Arclight searches are not the repeatable content I'm looking for. So hopefully
Same.
something more fun to come in the future.
I remain optimistic, and for the time being, the excitement and the anticipation of raids is definitely holding my attention. And PvP is definitely good enough. Definitely enough fun. So I'll keep pushing.
Same. Looking forward to it.
All
Looking forward
right.
to next season. I'm excited for what that brings.
Yeah, definitely ready to see the new mini, the Fairy Dragon. That should be a lot of fun.
How many days are we out from the new season? Do you know?
Let me look on my phone real quick.
Isn't it sometime in the beginning of March?
I think so. We are 20 days away. So we are
20
just under
days.
3 weeks away. Yep. Yep. I'll tell you, as I get more and more minis over that 100K track, um, my long term goal is every time we get a new mini, I want to get that mini to level 28 by the end of the following season, by basically just doing all of my quests for that particular mini.
That is a long grind, my friend.
Hey, just watch a show. Just watch a show or do something else. You eat an elephant one bite at a time.
Yeah, I guess so.
One tiny bite at a time.
One tiny bite at a time.
Yep.
Good grief. That's
Good
funny.
grief indeed. All right. All right. Well, if there's nothing else you want to say, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And thank you so much to our audience for watching. Don't forget to, if you stumbled upon this particular video and didn't see part 1, please jump over and watch Minnie's video on his side. I'll have that posted in the comments. And of course, if you have not dropped a subscribe for either one of us yet, we would both greatly appreciate supporting our channel.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you.